Spurs up, Carolina fans. This is Phil Harris once again here at the Ruckin Roosters Show. I'm joined with two very special guests this time around. We have Mike Rudzinsky and Adam Satz. How the hell are you boys?
Can't complain, man. We're doing well.
You guys, it's very late at night over there in the nation of Israel. We'll get into that in a moment, but I wanted to first talk about your background. Tell us where you guys are from and how you found the sport of rugby. Whoever wants to go first can just jump right in.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'll go first. So I was born in Stamford, Connecticut. Started playing rugby my sophomore year of high school. My friend started playing freshman year. It was a brand new club, and then I decided to join in sophomore year. We lost that game. It was pretty tough, but from there got a little bit better the next couple of years. Ended up at University of South Carolina with Mikey, and then the rest is history from there.
Yeah, and for me, it started, every single Saturday as a kid. I grew up going to the pitch. My dad played my whole life. He's been very involved in the rugby community, and it's just kind of been a part of who I am since day one. So we started a youth program at Mystic River Rugby Club. When I was 12 years old, I had just been begging my old man to start a team so I could play some rugby. And, as a result, we then started the high school team for that, for Mystic River, which then, of course, joined into the collegiate team as well in the future. I was playing men's club rugby for Mystic at 16 years old. So that was kind of my first taste. And, then went to South Carolina, like Satz said, and I was a little bit older than him. So I was there a little bit sooner, but it was good to have, be joined by him and the guys that came, a few semesters before him as well.
Absolutely. Our connection obviously is with Carolina Rugby, all of us. Can you, both of you, tell me exactly when you were there and just any accomplishments that you had there? Any like Player of the Year awards, anything like that?
Yeah, so I was there 2011 until fall of 2011 until fall of 2015.
Okay.
I didn't get to play my first semester because I actually had a busted shoulder, so I was recovering from that. Did a fraternity thing, realized that rugby was enough of a fraternity in and of itself, so I didn't really need as much of that. Started playing rugby that second semester. Definitely some humbling experiences against teams like Tennessee and Florida and things like that. And so it was definitely a kind of an eye opener, and I had never been on the receiving end of some of those tough losses.
Right.
And so the next year when the new class came in, they were all business, and we stuck to a lot of good teams. So it was definitely a breath of fresh air. And then I know Satz came in after that too. So yeah, in terms of some, I guess, accolades, I think I had all SCRC honorable mention my senior year. I guess I was the man of the match in the 2014 fall SCRC 15s final, which we hosted and won, which was cool to do right in the over at Strom Thurmond. And other than that, I mean, just I think 1 year was maybe the back of the year or rookie back of the year. So
very cool. What about you, Satz?
Yeah, I was there from 13 to 17, and no real accomplishments, unfortunately. But I was DJing that.
Same here.
Yeah. More anonymous, but I was DJing that game that you had the accomplishment for. So that's all that mattered to me.
There you go.
I was up there.
You helped out in your own little way. Tell us about why you guys are over in Israel and rugby's involvement in the Maccabiah Games.
Yeah, so we're over in Israel because So firstly, the Maccabiah Games are the second largest international sporting event in the world, behind the Olympics. And this year is a special year. Obviously, it's been 5 years since our last one. It's typically on a 4-year cycle, similar to the Olympics. Because the Olympics pushed back a year, the Maccabiah Games had to push back a year. So Maccabiah has been around for decades. This is the 21st World Games. There's over 70 different countries. We participated in an opening ceremony recently. It was a spectacle, to say the least. 30,000 fans in this amazing stadium in Jerusalem. And really awesome. What it's about is about uniting people through religion and sport. So, it's not so much necessarily that everyone's religious. Everyone has their different kind of varying degrees, right, of how they practice and things like that, but it's about the spirit of it, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
really about growing and joining together, and again, celebrating something through sport, which is of course something that we love to do. So that's the reason we're here. And yeah, the tradition of the Maccabiah Games is incredible. So this is my third games, and
Wow.
it's each group is always an amazing time to get to know and to be a part of. And this one's really special that we have out here. So it's been a fun experience.
Yep.
That sounds awesome. A buddy of mine, Dallin Stanford, world rugby commentator, was a part of the Team USA during his time, and I'm sure loved his experience there in Israel. How did USA do? I mean, obviously, I know that there was a 7 squad and also a 15s, I believe. How'd you guys end up doing?
So I'll let you talk about 7s, and then we can recap 15s from there.
Yeah, so 7s was tough. So we had some tough close finishes in the first day. Unfortunately, we lost to South Africa and who's that? Australia or South Africa and Israel. Excuse me. Good teams, really solid teams. Fought to the last minute. We lost both by less than a score. Then GB on the second day. That was the only other game that we had in the pool play. We beat them pretty handily, and then we played them again for the bronze medal. And luckily we came out on top with that one. So we won.
Nice.
We won a bronze in the 7s, which is good. We didn't come away empty-handed.
That's awesome. Yeah. How about 15s?
So 15s started on Sunday, and we played Great Britain again. So we sort of had somewhat of an idea what to expect from them, but obviously not too much of an idea, having just played them in 7s. It's a very tough, grueling game under the sun. You were in it too. It's a very exhausting game. They slowed the game down well, did a good job controlling the game on their end a little bit, keeping us pinned back in our 50. So it was a tight one. Unfortunately, lost that one 13-16. And then last night we played Australia. And I can let Mikey recap that a little bit if you want.
Yeah, I mean, well, Satz put in a shift, that's for sure. Satz actually was not expecting to start. We had a teammate actually get COVID, and so he wound up not being able to play. Day of the game, Satsy's in the pre-game meeting and finds out he's starting, put in a heck of an effort, that's for sure. Always some adversity to go up against, and that definitely attributed a little bit. But that having said that, yesterday's was a tough one. We lost by a point.
Gosh, heartbreaker.
End of the game. Against Australia, and it was a tough match. They're really really skilled side, and it's a shame because you want to you almost want them to be mean or to be rude, but they're such great really guys. We're in the hotel with all these teams, and each day they've been nothing but nice. And yesterday was definitely business, but after the game, it was, hey, cheers, fellas. That could have gone either way. And
absolutely,
it was definitely a close one. It was a few bounces of the ball, but all in all, I mean the impact that this 15s experience has even had on us. Even though the result. It's definitely there. So,
Mikey, I know that this is essentially your last game that you just played for rugby. I mean, the game has an end for all of us, right? I mean, at some point we can't continue on. Are you confirming at this point that is your last game of rugby? And if it is, I mean, what was your thoughts as the final whistle blew?
Yeah, so it's funny. Luckily, we had something come about where we're actually going to play the Israel A side on Sunday. So we're gonna get one more run.
There you go, one last run.
Yeah, exactly. But after that, I mean that's pretty much it for me for as much high level rugby as I can play. Body's not holding up. Yeah, maybe an alumni game down at
there you go.
I did that in 17 after I played in Maccabiah. And, definitely maybe a couple of old boys games, but I'm going to referee. That's kind of the next stage for me. I want to referee, coach youth and continue to help grow the game. But yeah, so Sunday will be the last kind of big run. And, we'll take it from there. Next chapter of the rugby journey.
That's awesome. You got to keep us updated about how that goes against Israel A side there. Let's turn back a little bit and rewind to talk about. I know both of you, I'm sure, had some great memories at Carolina, playing in a Carolina jersey. But what have been your favorite memories with this Team USA at the games?
There's so many. There was one day where and I'm sure I'm probably taking this from you too.
Go ahead.
There's one day where we've been together for only like a week at this point, and we're sitting eating lunch in a park, and everyone's just opening up and being like very open and honest with each other, and just like more than you ever would get with just like a group of rugby players. And it was something that you could only get with like family members and like real brothers. And it was like just great to sit around and like everyone was sharing all their feelings, like how they felt about the trip so far, like what was going on in their head as we're leading up into the Sevens tournament. And it was just eye-opening to the connection that we had made in such a short period of time. Just having just the relationship of being rugby players, loving to play rugby, and then having some sort of connection with Judaism, and having that together, and like that combination leading to such like a tight-knit group of people.
And it's funny, you know, of course, Satz, he's right, he stole it. But at the same time, every moment out here has just been kind of a blessing. You know, again, kind of going back to my thoughts with like the whole retirement, like I know this isn't the end of my Maccabi USA rugby career either. You know, I'll hopefully be back in the future as a coach, as you know, some form of management, you know, to help continue to grow this program and you know, keep it going in the right direction. But having said that, I mean, this whole trip has just been eye-opening, and each trip, you know, is different than the last. So, you know, Yad Vashem is always something very, very powerful. The Holocaust Museum, it's sobering, right? It's very somber, and it just really hits you, and it hits you differently each time. But you know, that was definitely something for me that was pretty emotional. Another day we before actually we went and shared all of our things in the park, and you know, we were kind of opening up to each other. We were at a you know, older folks kind of community home, and it wasn't a home, it was more that, you know, kind of like a day, you know, what would you call it? A day club. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're doing some activities, and so we sat there and hung around with them, and then we were dancing with them, and
Nice.
you know, just kind of like cultural stuff of you know, kind of uniting with Judaism and kind of in our roots around here, and you know, continuing to be good people, right?
Of course.
You know, kind of give rugby, you know, try to help continue to give rugby that good name of being community driven and community focused, and you know, things that we've been so fortunate to see firsthand. So that was definitely something for me that was special.
How long are you guys going to be there until, and what's the weather been like?
So it's hot, man. Sun comes up and you feel it. That's for sure. So we've been a lot of water, a lot of electrolytes, making sure that we're getting the right nutrition each day, you know, at the hotel. And luckily we're in Netanya right now, which is beautiful. The ocean's right over there.
Mediterranean Sea.
The Mediterranean, okay. I should say. You got a beautiful little square down there that's got, you know, a great bunch of, you know, food spots. We're basically regulars at this point, you know, going to get cappuccinos and stuff with the boys. Right. So we're here total, you know, from start of the trip to the end, 3.5 weeks.
Oh, wow. So that's great.
We left July 3rd, got here the 4th, and we leave the 26th. So yeah, we're here several more days, which is nice. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Before we close up, I just wanted to, we always try to do this at the end of each one of the Ruckin Rooster episodes. All three of us alumni of Carolina Rugby. If there's a recruit out there that's been watching this, what would you say to them about coming to Carolina and playing as a Gamecock?
I would say, you know, you got to go and play, and you got to play for a legacy of, you know, you have a great program that's been around for a very long time, that's been to a very high level of rugby, and you got to come play for them. And I know, I believe Coach Roberts is going to take them to another level. Yep. You know, that they're going to be able to realize, and you know, it seems like he's doing a great job on the recruiting trail, and you know, just continuing to do that. And like, you got to go to a great place with great football, great tailgating. Like, you get all those aspects, yep. Great food. You know, if you're from the north, like both of us, like you got to come down south, get some great weather as well, and you're playing competitive rugby.
It's true.
Yeah, and I just say to harp on the tradition. I mean, it's the oldest club sport at South Carolina, right?
That's right.
It's
Yep.
founded in 1967. It's got a long history, a lot of, especially in the last decade, a lot of success. Even before then, of course, I know there was lots of success in prior decades. But what's important is the future, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, and I like Satz said, I think that the way it's heading right now is nothing but a perfect direction, and Coach Roberts is going to continue to take them the right way.
Speaking of which, Coach Roberts wanted me to make sure that I bring this up to you guys. I mean, we're doing a With You campaign. So if you guys want to donate maybe, 10, 15, $25 when you get back monthly to help this thing move along and make sure that we have Coach Roberts there in the future, and also make sure that we have the scholarships and development, I guess, towards the squad, and also maybe some facilities in the future. That would be fantastic. I wanted to invite you guys to participate in the With You campaign, and everybody out there that's watching this, if you're a supporter, a fan, alumni, whatever you are, go to the website and click on the With You campaign to make sure that you're donating. We would greatly appreciate that. Final thing before we get out of here, boys. I know it's very late in Israel right now, so we've got one word association. Okay, I'm going to say one word. All of these are actually one word. I'm sticking true to what this is all about. So I'm going to say one word. The first thing that pops in your mind, let us know what it is. I'll let we'll go from left to my right here, which is going to be Adam, and then Mikey. I'll let Adam start it off here. The first word is rugby.
Joy.
Passion.
All right. USA.
Pride.
Yeah, proud. Proud.
All right. Maccabiah.
Family.
Warriors.
Israel.
It's a special place. Sorry, it's not one word.
That's all right.
Beautiful.
And the final one is Gamecocks.
Go Gamecocks. That's all I've got to say.
Dominant.
There you go. Like that. All right, guys. This is just another example. We had on the previous episode some alumni that are participating in the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup in October. These guys are killing it in Israel right now. A lot of Gamecock alumni, specifically Gamecock alumni for Carolina Rugby, doing big things out there. So I appreciate you guys coming on. You're being very generous with your time. I know it's very late, so I'm going to get you guys out of here. But we got 2 words. Normally I say 1 word, but that's the different show. So 2 words here to get out of here. And I think you know what it is. In 3, 2, 1, Spurs up, baby. Woo! Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Bye.
Go Gamecock.
Hell yeah.